Now broadcasting from his hidden bunker and fully stocked bar, it is the Saturday Report with Colt Sebastian Taylor.
Thank you and welcome once again, my friends, to the Saturday Report with me, Colt Sebastian Taylor, adventurer, entrepreneur, an amateur electric vehicle owner, and welcome to AWSM Radio, an independent digital-only radio station that plays today's best music, old school classics, along with a rotating cast of all-star DJs. AWSM Radio focuses on mainstream artists, independent artists, along with a variety of interesting talking music shows throughout the day. All we do is entertain, inspire, and inform. And my friends, I want to engage with you. I want you to be part of the conversation. So find me on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on the Facebook, on the Cameo, on the Counter Social at Colt S. Taylor. And of course, you can subscribe to the podcast version of this show at anchor.fm/Colt S. Taylor. And then occasionally I'm at twitch.tv/Colt S. Taylor live streaming. Sometimes the show, sometimes just playing games, just hanging out. And of course, bookmark ColtSebastianTaylor.com. All right, my friends, let's get started with this week's Saturday Report. First up this week, some personal news. I have bought a new car. Yes, I, Colt Sebastian Taylor, have bought a new car. My previous car, hand-me-down, from my grandmother, took it to be inspected in about early December. Was expecting to need a new muffler. Called me up and said, "Colt!" I go, "Hello?" "Sorry, Colt, your car can't pass inspection." "Oh, what's up?" I thought, okay, they don't have a part or something. "Your car is structurally unsafe to drive. It's illegal for me to put an inspection sticker on it." "Oh, well, what do you mean?" "Well, the rust. There's major rust spots and your seat's about to fall through the floor here. It's just like you just can't drive it anymore. It's done." Well, time to find a new car. And I think to myself, Colt, you know what? It's 2020, going to be 2023. It's time to go to the future. I began to look into hybrids. And then also electric cars. And also, it turns out in 2023, thank you to the Inflation Act, that hybrids and electric cars that recently that hit caps about federal credits, those caps are gone now. So there was a $7,500 federal tax credit that I can't claim until next year, but available for buying electric cars. So you know what? I'm going to get an electric car. Yes. You know what? I want to get a Chevy Bolt. And I did, my friends. I did. Before I go to the story, I have to plug where I got this car from. Got it from Troutman's Chevrolet Buick GMC in beautiful Millersburg, Pennsylvania. Troutmansauto.com. Great guy there named Jason. Tell him that Colt Sebastian Taylor sent you. You won't get anything, but that'll be funny if that gets back to me. Apparently people have been coming in all over different states, South Carolina, North Carolina, Wyoming, flying in, buying cars from this location. It's just amazing about people coming in to get the car that they want, and they got the car that I want. I got a lovely blue Chevy Bolt with there, no hassle. No one tried to strong-arm me and sell me stuff that I really didn't want. A perfect place to buy a car. I'll tell you what, my friends, I will surely need another car again in the future. This is the first place I'm going to come to looking for cars. It was a delightful experience dealing with the folks at Troutman's Chevrolet Buick GMC, Troutmansauto.com in beautiful Millersburg, Pennsylvania. However, Chevy as a business, I have one or two slight gripes that I would like to get off my chest this evening. Is this a Hyundai Tucson fiasco gripe? Absolutely not. Hyundai and the Hyundai Tucson remain the worst car companies in the world. You should never, ever give them a dime of your money ever again. They're the worst. Hyundai Tucson, you did me wrong. You know what you did. I'm still waiting for my $4,000. But apparently this aspects that I'm going to talk about are common. I just don't quite understand it. So, car died in December, and I went about looking for, I want to get a Chevy Bolt, and looked at various Chevrolet dealers around me. 5 Chevy Bolts. Fantastic. Type. I would like to test drive. Oh, sorry. These Chevy Bolts are sold. I'm sorry. These are sold cars. Okay. Then why are they on your website? Well, they haven't been picked up yet, but they're sold. Okay, so they're sold, but they haven't been picked up yet. So they say on your website they're available for sale. Yes. Because that's just the way it works. I don't understand why that's just the way it works. Now, these dealerships, such as Troutman, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, in beautiful Millersburg, Pennsylvania, Troutman'sAuto.com, they don't control their websites. Chevrolet HQ does. And they will keep these cars on the websites until about a week or two after they're sold. Like, even today, if you go to that website, I bet you'll see a blue Chevy Bolt on there that says it's available. And it doesn't, leave for weeks. And so they'll get calls from people who want to buy a car that says it's there, but they can't. And understandably, they will be upset. I was really upset with a few folks of So, but eventually, I just dumb luck that I got this one. Now I'm happy about it. Now, another thing that Chevrolet, that again, not the fault of the dealership, that I have a gripe with, is that on January 2nd, 2023, they raised the prices of their Chevy Bolts by $1,000. But they did not send that information to the dealerships, so the dealer had to call me the day before I was going to pick it up to say, hey, I need another $1,000. As one might imagine, I was not very happy about that, and so I had to call Chevy HQ and say, hey, what the hell's going on here? How did you or did you not raise your prices? Well, as you might imagine, took them a little while to track it down, but yes, they raised prices January 2nd, 2023, and despite them being a multi-billion-dollar company, took a little while for that information to filter down, apparently. Now, here's what I find to be just a coincidental happenstance. It's funny for me that the day after, the reason was market pressures. But the day after $7,500 of federal credit becomes available for EV purchase, market pressures just made the car $1,000 more expensive. Totally not gouging me. Chevy is totally not gouging me for another $1,000. Totally not that. Market pressures. So again, friends, when people are saying, oh man, that inflation's driving up prices. Inflation, Joe Biden, inflation. Again, maybe it happens, but if a company's profit is up 30% this year, and they say inflation is why prices have gone up 20%, gosh, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe they're gouging you. Am I saying that Chevrolet is gouging me for $1,000? Am I making that statement? Yes, I am. Just like I'm saying Hyundai Tucson is a terrible company. Chevy, better. Troutman, GMC, Buick, Chevy of Millersburg, awesome. The company as a whole, a little shady. Well, anyways, before I wrap up this segment, you're probably saying to yourself, Colt, all people give cars their names. You had a Mini Cooper once that you had called Riley. What will you call your Chevy Bolt? Well, you know what? I have put a lot of thought into this. And I am proud to announce here, internationally, on the Saturday Report with Colt Sebastian Taylor, that the name of my car is Bolt Sebastian Taylor. Yes! Yes! Yes, there's a round of applause here. Yes, Bolt Sebastian Taylor, the car of Colt Sebastian Taylor. Friends, it's all about branding. All about branding, and there's no better brand than Colt Sebastian Taylor. But in second place would be Troutman Chevrolet Buick GMC. Troutman'sAuto.com in Millersburg, Pennsylvania. Check them out. Tell them that Colt Sebastian Taylor sent you for all of your Buick, GMC, and Chevrolet needs. Again, you won't get anything. I won't get anything. But it'll be funny if I get an email from the guy saying, boy, someone came in and said that. Next up this week, some sad news. Music legend David Crosby passed away this week at the age of 81 years old. Just an amazing talent. He was a singer, songwriter, guitarist, a founding member of the Byrds, then became a member of another band, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And then after that, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. The others being, the Young obviously being Neil Young, with Stephen Stills and Graham Nash. Did a lot of great collaboration music throughout the years. Also the biological father of Melissa Etheridge's two children. He provided the one half of the two halves need to make a child with Melissa Etheridge and her partner. She posted a message saying, "I am grieving the loss of my friend and Bailey's biological father, David. He gave me the gift of family. I will forever be grateful to him, Django and Jan. His music and legacy will inspire many generations to come." Neil Young posted a heartfelt message saying that he was the heart of our band. He was saying, he also made a statement saying that David is gone, but his music will live on. The soul of Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, David's voice and energy were at the heart of our band. His great songs stood for what we believed in, and it was always fun and exciting when we got to play together. David Crosby was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, both as a member of the Byrds and as a member of Crosby, Stills, and Nash. There was like this trio and then the quartet and all over the place. So unfortunately passed away a lot of people upset about that, both young and old. Pretty storied career there. 81 years old, so his wife announced that he had passed away after a long illness. One of his final tweets this week, I'll bring it to you right now. He posted a screenshot. He retweeted a screenshot from someone who took a screenshot of Google that says, "Can we go to heaven with tattoos?" And the Google answer replied, "People with tattoos will not go to heaven. People who drink alcohol will not go to heaven. People who eat too much pork will not go to heaven. Short people will not go to heaven." And this person says, "Not looking good." And then David Crosby tweeted, "I heard the place is overrated. Cloudy." So anyways, the great singer, songwriter, and guitarist David Crosby has passed away this week at the age of 81. Listen to some of his music. I think you will certainly enjoy it. In other entertainment news, Regal Cinema, one of the biggest major movie theater chains out there in the United States, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy this week and are closing more than 39 movie theaters across the United States, blaming the pandemic for devastating the industry and public screenings. They're closing 39 theaters beginning February 15th, saving the company $22 million annually. Including, I am sad to say, a movie theater that I went to when I was in, high school, college, middle school, after college. The Oaks Stadium 24 Oaks Cinema in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Yes, named after the tree. Closing down starting in February. Hits home hard. They say there were 2 movie theaters I went to. Well, we'll say 3. 3 movie theaters I went to growing up as a young Colt Sebastian Taylor. The first one was like a Fox movie theater in the north end of North End Pottstown, where you could walk to, see a movie for $1. I think 2 screens, floors were sticky. Walked down there with my mother and brother many a times. It was next to a West Coast Video. Got torn down. There's a CVS there. Second one was Cinemark Cinemas near the mall outside of Pottstown. 4 or 5 screens. Saw many different. Saw Titanic there. Many different movies there. I think they reopened. It was vacant for quite a while. I think they reopened. The mall itself, next to it, closed the inside of it. Now you can only access the stores from the outside. I don't know what they're doing there. I have to drop by sometime. And then this one was the one I went to almost all the time too. Now all 3 gone as time marches on. But there are closing theaters in Alaska, California, Colorado, Florida, Hawaii, Illinois, Massachusetts, Maryland, North Kakalaki, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, a bunch in New York, Ohio, 2 in Pennsylvania, the other one Doylestown, which I think I've been to that one, Virginia, and Washington, as well as Washington, D.C. So, I even had like a Regal Cinema card that after you visited, you went to 3 movies, you got a free popcorn. If you get into 10 movies, you got a free movie ticket. Those were the days. Oh, no, though, again, they're blaming this on the pandemic, which definitely hurt them. Absolutely hurt them. But, streaming services, too, took a big bite out of, I think, movie theaters as well. I mean, yes, there is an experience of going to the theater and whatnot. However, there's something to be said not having to put on... There's something to be said of just wearing sweatpants, sweatshirt, not paying $32 for popcorn and a popcorn and a soda and whatnot, and sitting in a chair, which now they recline. But it's also nice to stay at home as well. Some of those movies, if you have a really nice entertainment system at home, you know what? Is it worth $30 for the experience? For some people, absolutely. Now, that's why theaters now have reclining chairs, bars, full-out meals, chairs you can reserve. I remember, this is like a common thing now, I think, in many theaters, but I remember the first time I reserved a seat in a movie theater and was blown away by the concept of not trying to jostle and get there early to find a good seat. You could reserve a seat. Technology, right? But anyways, Regal Cinemas filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Following Cineworld also filed for bankruptcy last year, September 7th, 2022. They are the second largest one, and they actually own Regal Cinema as well. So the Regal Cinema in the United States is filed for. So Cineworld is in the United Kingdom. Regal Cinemas in the United States. Both now filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. We will see what happens. Will they be able to restructure? I hope so. I like going to the movies and whatnot. Matinees. I don't, I like to. I have a new car. I like to stretch my penny. But we'll see if they can come out of this and then manage to salvage the theater experience. Now, my friends, I'll tell you what's never bankrupt, never empty. It's the beats from my pal DC. And my friends, we have the music you need every single weekend because we have got DC here. He is our in-house DJ. And on Friday nights at 9 p.m., it's DC live in effect. You don't want to miss out while he smashes it on the ones and twos, kicking the beats from South Florida every week. Then on Saturdays, yes, later tonight, if you're listening to this live, DC brings his freestyling DJ to DC House Party Saturdays, giving you all the Miami vibe without actually having to be in Florida under that governor, that guy. What that guy? From the top clubs to the bars, DC will bring the party to you Saturdays at 10 p.m. And then on Sundays at 10 p.m., it's DC live in effect once again. Pretty amazing stuff, right? So, just to review. Fridays at 9, DC live in effect. Saturdays at 10, DC House Party Saturdays. And then Sundays at 10 p.m., DC live in effect once again. Only here, my friends, on AWSM Radio. Moving along to some congressional news. GOP Congressman Greg Stube fell 25 feet off a ladder this week after trying to, clear some branches on his property, suffering serious injuries, and had to be in the ICU for several days. And he said, quote, was knocked approximately 25 feet down off a ladder while cutting tree limbs on his Sarasota property. According to the congressman's statement, the Stube family is grateful for the outpouring of well wishes and prayers. Representative Stube has been moved from the ICU this afternoon and remains hospitalized under a great care team. Apparently he lives in Sarasota with his wife, son, and 4 rescue dogs. He serves on the new House Select Subcommittee on the, quote, weaponization of the federal government. So, he'll be doing good work, I guess. Fun fact, the day of this happened, Kevin McCarthy, the Speaker of the House, said people now have to show up to work if they want to vote. No more proxy voting. So, hopefully he gets better soon because he's not allowed to vote unless he hauls himself to Congress. So, but I will say, just to highlight some of his accomplishments in Congress. He was elected in 2018, re-elected in 2020. He supports the repealing of the Affordable Care Act during the COVID-19 pandemic. He argued that the deep state at the FDA was preventing the use of hydrochlorine, a malaria drug, to treat COVID-19. It may surprise you that he was one of 126 Republican members to sign a amicus brief to support of Texas versus Pennsylvania, filing to overturn the Pennsylvania results in the 2020 election. Supreme Court declined to hear the case on the basis that Texas lacked standing on the Article 3 of the Constitution to challenge the results of an election held by another state. So he supported Texas telling Pennsylvania how to run their elections. He also introduced a bill to stop technology platforms from suspending right-wing accounts. In February of last year, he skipped votes and enlisted other people to vote for him, citing the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. But he was actually at CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference, held at the same time. So, you know. Oh, he also was 20 Republicans who voted against a resolution to give the Congressional Gold Medal to police officers who defended the Capitol on January 6th. So, I certainly hope he makes a full recovery from falling off a ladder. Must have been painful. Hearing he fell off a ladder, I was like, oh no. Damn shame. Guy's a clown show. He's a clown show. Clown show that wasn't in the ICU. Now he's out of the ICU. So, Representative Stube, hey, listen, I hope your brush with Splat has given you some perspective on some things. Maybe you should try being a better person? Maybe? You're in Florida. Hard to do. But the bar is really low in Florida. It's so low. Moving along to celebrity news, Alec Baldwin this week was charged with manslaughter due to the shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchison on his movie set Rust last year in New Mexico. He was holding a prop gun that apparently was loaded with live ammunition. The gun fired, striking her. Also, the director survived. She did not. He is being charged, and the film's armorer with involuntary manslaughter. The armorer on the film is in charge of all things weapons, like weapons, swords, whatever, making sure everything's safe. He's obviously in charge of making sure a real bullet doesn't go into a gun, but a real bullet did. So he's being charged with involuntary manslaughter as well. The lots of finger pointing here. A lot of people were really quick to blame Alec Baldwin. Adam Baldwin, someone else. Alec Baldwin on it. Mostly conservatives. Really were just so giddy to jump on this train about this incident. They don't care so much about school shootings, but this one they're really happy about. Blame him. Blame the armor for lax safety standards. There's a lot of complaints about safety. Armor is blaming the company that supplied them with blanks that had some real ammunition mixed in there. But him and the armor are being charged in this incident, which happened in October of 2021. However, before I get to there, so New Mexico's first judicial district attorney, Mary Carmack Altwee, said both of them were responsible for checking the safety of the weapon. Quote, every person that handles a gun has a duty to make sure that if they're going to handle the gun pointed at someone and pull the trigger, that it's not going to fire a projectile and kill someone. She said that actors on the set with lots of moving parts should be reasonably relying upon other members of the team to do their job. I believe that was the attorney, whatnot. It should be before jury because, that's the attorney for Alec Baldwin. It should be before jury again because, again, people work cooperatively as a team in the context of the movie set, in the context of a prop, in the context of you being handed a gun that should have been checked multiple times before it came to your attention. Now, a lot of people are saying that Alec Baldwin has a pretty good chance of beating these charges. A lot of experts saying that this could be a case of charging him this more so that he is a celebrity than if he wasn't a celebrity, of charging him to make an example of him to increase the safety standards on sets. So some folks feel that this is a bit of overcharging, and it's going to be very difficult to prove that this crime was committed by Alec Baldwin. According to CNN legal analyst Ellie Hong, said prosecutors will face significant challenges, including not knowing how live rounds got on the set, and experts' varying opinions on on-set responsibilities of actors and crew members. Quote, remember, this is a criminal case. You need all 12 jurors to find guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So I'm not saying there's no chance here, but this is a really difficult case for the prosecution. Even the prosecutor said, we might not never know how live rounds got on the set, which this expert says, that's a major factual issue in this case. Quote, the defense lawyer is going to stand up in front of a jury someday and say, they want to convict my client, and they can't even tell you how those live rounds got there. That's true. That's true. Now, Alec Baldwin said that he did not pull the trigger, that it just went off. The FBI had the gun. They said the gun likely didn't do that. So it doesn't mean he doesn't believe that. He might not remember because of the shock of it or not. He's going to say that, I'm an actor. I'm not in charge of the guns. The guns need to go through several levels of different people before it even gets to me. This is not my job to make sure the gun's safe. I'm in charge of acting. So I don't think he'll get pinged for this. The armorer, the person in charge of the guns, the person who's like, I'm in charge of the guns to make sure they're safe. Yeah, that guy's going to jail. Absolutely. But, yeah. So, see what happens. Probably followed very closely on Fox News. They'll probably be all over this until they sort of realize that he will probably beat the charges. Next up, my friends, we go to technology. Twitter, it's still here. I'm amazed. I'm going to have to remove my pinned tweet where I said in November that it was days away from crashing. Although apparently they are selling office furniture in San Francisco and have stopped paying rent in like their, I think, Singapore office. And all their employees got kicked out of the Singapore office for not paying rent. So we'll see. But anyways, blue check marks. You, my friends, on Twitter, could get a blue check mark and buy it for $8 a month. Do I have a blue check mark? No. Do I think about getting one from time to time? Yes, I do. But maybe I might wait a little bit longer because during the blue check marks, the Taliban, yes, the Taliban, a blast from the past from the late 90s and early aughts, the Taliban are buying blue check marks on Twitter to be verified. Apparently, credit cards work in Afghanistan. Go figure. Leading Taliban members have subscribed to Twitter Blue and have purchased a verification badge, according to the BBC. Reports said that at least 2 Taliban officials and 4 prominent supporters are displayed the blue check marks on the profile. However, their identifiers are no longer verified. This was like a brief time. So it's unclear what happened, whether like they canceled, or credit cards got declined, or Twitter removed the blue check marks from them. Hard to say, but they have been seen in the wild. It's verified. Taliban members trying to get verified on Twitter. The dream of all humans is to be verified on Twitter. Maybe everyone should have a blue check mark. Maybe that would bring peace and harmony to our world. Probably not. I'm going to say I'm 90% sure it wouldn't. We now go to the great state of Texas. The University of Texas of Austin has now blocked TikTok from its IT network. So no more, I guess, IT related things. I don't know. But anyways, since the University of Texas Austin is associated with the government of Texas, they are following orders from Governor Greg Abbott to ban the short form video from state-managed electronic resources and whatnot. And yeah. So the move makes it impossible for TikTok users to access the app even on personal devices if they're connected to the school's wired or wireless networks. So it's not just like the devices used by teachers or employees. If you're a student on there, you can't use TikTok while connected to the wireless network of the school. Now, this has impacted some folks. Some popular University of Texas TikTok folks have stopped using TikTok because it's a lot of data to upload videos. If you don't have unlimited data, that's gonna suck that up real quick. And, they had to stop. Now, who's upset that they're, well, you know what? There's some very attractive gymnasts who did a lot of TikTok videos, as, you might imagine. And now they can't do TikTok videos anymore. And now they're being harassed a wee bit on various other social media members. And so much so, this has caused such an issue at LSU that they've had to assign security to the women's gymnastic team because they've gotten threats from people that they stopped posting TikTok videos. So really, great people out there in the internet. Isn't everything great on social media? Everything's great that they have security hanging around gymnasts because they won't post videos of them doing gymnast things on TikTok. So Yeah, so there's that. Obviously, TikTok says, we are especially sorry to see the unintended consequences of rush policies beginning to impact universities' ability to share information, recruit students, build communities around athletic teams, student groups, and campus publications. So a lot of student groups at these universities are saying we use TikTok to promote awareness and these things. Now we can't do these things. But, yeah, I mean, I could see not having police officers or, like FEMA or state FEMA or emergency services or National Guard not having TikTok on there, but students, TikTok accessing the University of Texas's Wi-Fi is a security threat. I don't think that's how Wi-Fi works. It's not like the Terminator 2 where like he's got access to the network. He can spread all over the place. I don't think, I could be wrong. I'm old now. But I don't think that's how that works. I feel like that's not how that works. But friends, let me tell you what does work all the time online. It's these next three great shows we have here on AWSM Radio. I'm doing a trio promo right now, so buckle up. First up, boom, The Rock Sessions, hosted by my friend, the beautiful, fantastic, sassy Rocks. The Rock Sessions is our drive time show here, making sure your evening commute home is fun, featuring the hottest music on the charts and some other surprises in between. She will make it rock style, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., only here on AWSM Radio. Then Wednesday nights, it's a twofer, a doubleheader, a 1-for-2, 2-for-1 duo extraordinaire. First up, 9 p.m., it's To the Rack with Mac. To the Rack with Mac is your go-to spot for all things basketball. Join NBA expert Mac Daddy as he brings you a full hour of high-flying hoops expertise. For all things NBA, tune in Wednesday nights at 9 p.m., my friends. And then on 10 p.m., on Wednesdays, it's What's Going On. What's Going On is our Fox Sports affiliate show. Provide listeners with over 150 years of combined sports knowledge. Hosted by Nate Brown and his crew from Western New York. They have been kicking it for the last 2 decades, and now they have a national show, and we have their show here on AWSM Radio. It's Wednesdays at 10 p.m. So just to review, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., Rock Sessions. Wednesdays at 9 p.m., To the Rack with Mac. Wednesdays at 10 p.m., What's Going On? Only here, my friends, on AWSM Radio. And finally this week, Norwegian archaeologists believe they have found the world's oldest runestone inscribed almost 2,000 years ago, more than several hundred years older than previous discoveries, they announced. It measures about 12 by 12 inches. It was found in an ancient burial ground in late 2021 in a Tjordefjorden in northwest Oslo, ahead of the construction of a rail line. They think it comes from the year between 1 and 250 AD. It is that old. The runes, which are one of the oldest Scandinavian alphabets out there, it says Ildenberg, perhaps referring to the person who died there. So pretty amazing stuff. It's going to be in the Oslo Museum of Cultural History in Oslo today, January 21st to February 26th. Go and check it out if you happen to be in Oslo this weekend listening to my show. Well, my friends, that just about wraps up this week's Saturday Report with me, Colt Sebastian Taylor. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Remember, you can find me on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on the Facebook at Colt S. Taylor. You can also find me on Counter Social at Colt S. Taylor, YouTube at Colt S. Taylor, Twitch TV, twitch.tv/Colt S. Taylor, and of course, ColtSebastianTaylor.com. All these places. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast version of this show at anchor.fm/Colt S. Taylor. All right, my friends, until next time, I am, of course, your friend, Colt Sebastian Taylor, and I'll see you later.